Thank you, Mr. Clarkson, for inviting me back to a community that I also dear in my heart. And thank you, Father, and family of Sonia, for giving me the opportunity to say a few words to celebrate the life of our dearly departed friend. I had the honor of working with Sonia for 13 years in the early years of this exceptional community. And I remember the first time we met very clearly. It was the spring of 1998, and Mr. Daly and I were interviewing for a geography teacher to join us as we entered the second year of the school. And Sonia was the seventh teacher that we spoke to that day. But I remember so clearly how she entered into the room. A sense of grace, a sense of dignity, of confidence, of integrity. We asked her to start the interview with a prayer, but instead of the usual Our Father or Hail Mary, Sonia said the Serenity Prayer, and she finished with a few words of blessing. Mr. Daly and I glanced at each other at that point, acknowledging silently that this interview looked like it would be different. Here was a woman of faith. She joined us that September and quickly became part of the Cabot family. Her work ethic, her sense of humility, and mostly her sense of humor instantly made her part of who we were as a community. Now, initially, Sonia appeared to be a woman of such intense privacy. It took a long time for us to find out anything about her. Maybe a year before I realized she was from London, Ontario. Many years to find out that she could actually teach history as well as geography. And frankly, I still don't know her birthdays. Soon, however, it became that this sense of privacy that she held so dear wasn't really privacy at all. It was humility. Here was a woman who traveled extensively to exotic locations like the Canadian Arctic. She wrote curriculum, she chaired committees, but you would never know. And if you had the fortune of finding out and you tried to talk to her about it, she would quickly change the subject and somehow you would be talking about herself. You never walk away from a conversation with Sonia without thinking that you were the most important person in the world. Sonia possessed an incredible work ethic and a level of professional integrity that is inspiring to us all. She believed to the depth of her being in the value of Catholic education, in the idea that every student can learn and that no problem was insurmountable. All that we needed to do was work a little harder, stay a little later, be a little more creative, and believe in ourselves and in our students. Perhaps the most surprising part of Sonia's personality was her sense of humor and wit. From small turns of phrase, always perfectly timed into delivery, elaborate practical jokes that the victims to this day still don't know that they were the victims of. Sonia really was something of a comic genius. Seeing the results of her wit, she would often smile to herself, and sometimes when she couldn't help it, she would just laugh out loud. And when she did, it lit up the room. Now, some of the things that we laughed about the most were the excessive use of exclamation marks. That was a pet peeve. And often the sometimes corny quotes that we would use to start the reflections in our class. One in particular we enjoyed was, "Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened." Unfortunately, as we experience the change and loss that comes with aging, Sonia and I had occasion to use that phrase quite a few times over the years. So much so that we actually lost the humor of it and actually began to mean a great deal to us. Two weeks ago, Sonia sent me an email with a few words of goodbye and that phrase. How appropriate. Her humor and her humility came together in that one little statement. Even while she suffered, she found hope. And even when she knew that her suffering would end soon, she was concerned about the rest of us and how we would feel. Now, like most of those inspirational reflections, they're much easier to deliver than they are to accept. And I'm afraid many of us will do a lot more crying before we can smile. But it's important to remember that all the lessons that Sonia ever taught to her students and to her colleagues, the most powerful ones have to do with geography. We can honor Sonia if we strive to live our lives as she lived hers. Work hard, find humor in everything, and most importantly, be humble. We will miss your dearly departed friend. And I would just like to close with some of the first words that I heard Sonia Rebellato speak. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life, and supremely happy with him in the next.